Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.
I'm John Koch, and welcome to Kalamazoo Lively Arts, the show that takes you inside Kalamazoo's vibrant creative community and explores the people who breathe life into the arts. On the Kalamazoo Mall, there's a team of artists creating the finer things in life. And Jennifer Moss learns how to personalize gold and silver jewelry at Plata y Oro. Then old becomes new again when Renae Baumgart teaches SHELLEY how to create animals from wallpaper. And finally, we see how Will Alderman is changing the music landscape in Kalamazoo through Music Hop. Plata y Oro translates to silver and gold, and Jennifer Moss becomes a bench jeweler for a day with the help of GERALD Myers and Mike Teal.
We want to talk about, first of all, Plata y Oro, your store, and the fact that you are, in the bigger scale, bench jewelry artist, right? And GERALD, you own this store, GERALD Myers, and I have Mike Teal here as well. So, and we'll get to the fact that you're kind of passing the torch in a little bit, but at the heart of it, I would imagine some of your love for this business comes from the actual design and the creation, because you're artist.
You know, it's a wonderful process. It's like everybody that is an artist or has a creative feels themselves to be creative. When you're making some jewelry and you're doing it in different fashions, where carving a wax or pounding metal, when it comes alive in front of you, and if it turns out to your liking, it's just a really wonderful creative feeling to make something, especially one of a kind, for your customer who you get to share it with. And it's an overall just a wonderful feeling to create something. I'm speaking for all artists and how wonderful that really is. That's really what I fell in love with 40 years ago, is just creating something, and I can't speak about that enough, because that's really what this store is all about. And that's how I got to this place right now, because of my love of creating something from scratch. And I think Mike probably feels that same way. We're both consider ourselves artists, and we've made things from scratch. But adding the customer to that, you can make something, but presenting it to the customer and having them just as excited about it as you are after you made it, that's sort of like the ice cream at the end of the meal for me. So
okay, so you guys are going to show me casting.
Yeah, casting just came in.
Casting just
clean up the casting.
Clean up the casting. Okay. First, I need my handy dandy glasses, I think.
Optivisor.
Optivisor. It's perfect for the names. Am I putting this on right? Wait, something like that. Is that good?
Yeah.
No? Yay? Nay?
No.
Okay.
Now
I'm a bench jeweler now. Okay, so this is a piece that just came in.
Right. This is a silver casting that we carved the wax. And showed it to the customer, and they really liked it. They liked it the way everything went together. And we just got it back yesterday, and so what we need to do is to take it from the very matte, dull finish, which some people like matte finish.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
File it off the casting, and this is the first step in getting it to the point where we can polish it and then set the stones in. So what we're going to do now is just let you file off that finish with that little file.
Okay, so I take that and I start here, just on the side. Okay, and I just go press down?
Yep, you can go forward.
Forward, okay.
It cuts as you. That's the
there we go. Okay, oh, look at that.
Okay.
See how it the shinies underneath.
And so, yeah, so that makes it very shiny, very pretty.
It only...
Methodically.
You guys could get lost in this. I mean, do you just lose track of time? Because I could see this taking time, but also like kind of just...
Oh, yes.
Turn a little
Especially
music on.
this part.
This
when
is
you're,
pretty.
This is the last part before you finish the piece, and so, you know, you're pretty
So
excited
this is the
about
detail because you're almost at the finish line.
See how shiny that is?
I do.
Isn't that nice?
Look how pretty that is. I mean, it's such a difference from here to here.
Going from a piece of
Makes me nervous.
colored wax to this, you know, the shiny metal, it's like unwrapping the present on Christmas morning.
Absolutely, very pretty. What's involved in gold? Is it goldsmithing?
Yeah.
Goldsmithing,
Silversmithing and goldsmithing. We
So that
do
is correct
both.
terminology. But
And
how do you?
there's several different ways to make jewelry. I'll tell you about the one that I really like the most is, and this is what I discovered when I went to school, which I didn't really realize I had any of that kind of ability, but is carving wax. You can take wax that's specifically formulated for carving, and you can carve the ring out of that wax.
And I kind of joke, I think we're waxsmiths sometimes.
Yeah.
Waxsmiths and...
We both like to carve wax because it's just such a freedom, you know. It's like sculpture, you know, if you're carving stone or whatever. To me, that's how I see it. But you know, you can do it on a computer, and, you know, there's 3D printers that also create waxes, but what I really like to do is just do it myself.
I can tell you're both artists, and Gerald, you're both of you very passionate. You're getting ready to kind of pass the torch. Are you going to miss?
You know, I keep coming back to the fact that I just feel so grateful for having found something in my life that really satisfied me and gave me direction. I got into the jewelry business when I was in 11th grade in high school in Muskegon, and I've been in it all my life. And I was a stock boy and a watchmaker's assistant. But coming alive, that creative thing coming alive at school, and that has just been a wonderful gift all these years to give me direction in my life. It's just been a long road, but, you know, I'm just fortunate that I had something that I discovered so long ago. You know, and end up here at this beautiful store. I'm pretty happy and pretty fortunate, I'd say. I would wish that on anybody.
So wonderful. Thank you, too, for both of you for sharing part of your
Well, we
world.
appreciate you coming and talking to us, because I don't think this has ever really happened to us before, and so we're really grateful for that.
Patricia, you are an artist that paints. Tell us about your artwork.
My whole life has been painting. And I sold my first art right here in Woolworths, down here.
So describe your art. What's your niche here at this venue?
Well, I like to reproduce what I see that makes me feel happy. And a lot of people say, oh, your paintings make me feel so happy. So that's what I do.
Describe, let's say, what might be a best-selling painting here.
Of course, the Kalamazoo one. That's very good in Kalamazoo.
And that is because you have landmarks. Can you describe it?
Oh, it's right here. And I did the churches in the center of Bronson Park. And everybody likes it because, oh, I can send this to my friend that used to live here, and someone has already bought one today, a card. I have cards and small prints and pretty big prints of Kalamazoo.
And lastly, what is this fair, this hop all about? Is this energize an artist?
Yes, somewhat. Yes, I think so. I like doing the shows. They're a lot of work, And I'm 85, and that's a lot of work.
And which painting should I take home?
Oh, well, the Kalamazoo one? I think so.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
We see wallpaper every day, but one artist in Kalamazoo sees past the mundane to create fur, tentacles, and snow from repurposed wallpaper.
We are here to learn about your art. What's your niche?
It is a mixed media niche, and I call it rip art, and it's where I draw with my rips and I paint with my papers, and my paper of choice is wallpaper.
Take me back to, were you a rip kind of girl?
Well, the glib answer is I ran out of things to wallpaper. So I had all this wallpaper. But that's really not the whole story. I was very, as a child, not hyper, but very obsessive, loved to find objects within other objects. And this kind of fit right in with that kind of desire to see things within other things. It's like a cloud game, almost. I thought everyone did that. And when it started, we lived in this old house, and I started collecting old historical papers. And then after that, there's nothing left to wallpaper, so I had all this wallpaper, and I fancied maybe I'd write a children's book. Who doesn't say that? But so I used the wallpaper to rip out my little figures. I never went anywhere with that, but I learned to love ripping.
All right, Renae, I'm all ready to learn about rip art. Take it away.
Okay, I have a few pieces here we practice on to wake your fingers up. How about you try this and do a triangle?
Now, do I worry about this?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, just do it.
wherever
Just
you want.
rip a triangle, right?
Get your finger in your eyes,
that takes me
working
back
together.
to math class. Okay, how's that for a
That's
semi-triangle?
good.
Okay, that'll work.
And
Ooh.
what we have here is a little giraffe. And in nature, I love doing nature ones because there's no harsh lines. So when we fill in these, I left a big one up here for if you want to follow.
Yes.
Let's do some fill in his spots.
Okay, all right, so we're ready to, we're ripping up all of our ingredients, and then we'll be gluing?
We'll be positioning and gluing. And I'm thinking of staggering a bigger, fun little shape there.
All right, so we're in process, right?
Okay, good.
Oh,
That's
I feel
good.
very talented. Okay, do they all need to be triangles or just supposed to be?
No triangles,
man.
actually. That's a good one. Maybe a little
All right,
square.
how's this? Oh, that's not a square. What should I do with that? But let's make this a square. This is kind of fun.
It is very
All right,
therapeutic.
this is a somewhat of a square.
Okay,
so
where
put
would
that-
you think of?
How about that? Oh, I don't like how that, how about that? That's fine. Maybe I'll rip this one a little more.
You
How's
just
that?
play with it and move it
It's
around.
like a puzzle. Good. Good. We're perfectionists now.
Good,
And
yeah.
we're
So
sticking.
we've got a little spot here.
Oh,
we
I think
wanna
I'd like a longer one. Wow,
think
this
of
is
a
kinda
nature.
cool.
And that's great paper.
This is great paper. Okay, I like that.
Good, and maybe one more little one here.
A small one there, and it doesn't matter even if I wanted to do like a little circle. It would be
No,
nice.
and a giraffe is just so
giraffe.
interesting in there.
Oh, I'm proud of that. Do you have your idea in your mind what you're going to make?
I
Wow,
collect
talk about
ideas.
The process.
I
yeah.
collect old pictures and scraps of things. They don't have to be much to get your ideas flowing. And I collect them. I've got a whole stack of folders. And then if I think of something that I want to make, a lot of times the frame lends itself to me to look like, yeah, this would be a good frame for an octopus or a good frame for a big bird. Or
So you're getting things arranged. We've torn our wallpaper, and now we're
going
to
to dip and glue. I left a little white there.
Good, good.
I use Mod Podge or wallpaper glue.
Oh.
I want you to dip in.
Okay, left-handed. Dip
And-
in the.
And you can wipe
Mod
off the
Podge.
excess.
Okay,
on
yeah,
your-
because
on-
we don't want to be sloppy here. And I obviously have my apron
You've
on.
got
so
your
that I-
apron.
Now, where am I putting this?
You just dab
You
it
just
on
dab
like
it on,
wallpaper, like you're putting
like
it on the
paste.
wall.
Try to avoid the rest. Okay. We're dabbing, and obviously the corners are important here. All right, I'm all ready. Pick it up.
Flip it over and kind of see you've got a little wiggle room before it dries to arrange.
Do we want to put this on here?
I
Where do
think
we
that's
want?
good because
Expert?
he's kind of
Yeah, he
at
or
a
she.
bend. He or she
Okay.
is kind of at a little angle, so
All right,
that
good.
works good.
All right, here we go.
And you just work your way
I just
right up.
Work my way right up. Let me do another dip. And this is I mean, we're painting, we're ripping, we're designing. This
It covers
is,
it all, and you feel like you've
Feel like we've
done
made some
something.
progress. Will I be going back to
that one was-
perhaps re-glue if I see
if I
something
do,
coming up?
yeah, I
Okay.
press them.
I
and
am
then
on a
come
roll here,
back.
Renae. All right, it's good.
Good,
Does it
you're
need to
getting
be a thin layer of glue, correct?
Thin to start with, and then I'll seal it up good later.
Yes, yes, I want you to put the final touches on this because this one's really going to bring us some money in. Okay, I'm almost done. We're just going to kind of put him there.
A little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, and then last, like I say, I'll let you. This is so cool.
Very good.
I think that's on a scale of 0 to 10. That's probably a 7.5.
Very good for your first. And
Yes.
don't you just love that little interest?
Yes.
I don't know if you did that
No.
on purpose, but that was very cute.
I think I did.
I think you did.
Good.
I think
Thank you very much for this how-to.
You're welcome.
So what's your next big project?
Well, I'm not tired of octopus yet, so I probably will do another great big octopus. I really enjoy those.
Something about that creature.
It's something about all those legs.
Well, good. Congratulations
Thank
to you
you.
on your success and
Thank you.
in your future. Yeah.
A teacher, musician, and game changer, Will Alderman is leading the charge for Music Hop in Kalamazoo with drumsticks in hand.
Welcome everyone to the Music Hop. Have you heard of Music Hop? Woo! All right, easy. Calm down.
Well, who is Will Alderman?
Well, currently I'm a freelance musician in the greater Kalamazoo area. So what I do is I teach and I write and I perform all sorts of music. And I'm all over the place doing it, teaching Madawan and Otsego, Plainwell, all these different schools. I'll go in and teach lessons during the day, and I also teach and write for their drum lines. So that's kind of like my day-to-day job. So my life is really just music, yeah.
I am ready to play the snare drum. What do I do?
Awesome. Well, first we got to learn how to hold the sticks. Okay. So hold them loosely, and you want to have your thumb on the stick across from your pointer finger. Okay. And then you take your palms and you point them down. Great.
Great.
You're doing great.
Left-handed.
You're left-handed?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
We can work with
Oh,
that.
good, thank
All
you.
right, great. And we're going to learn a really simple exercise that we call 8 on a hand. So this is what we teach to like all our beginning students.
Yes.
And what you do is you play 8 notes on your right hand to start, and then you play 8 notes on your left hand to start.
Would you demonstrate, please?
I'll demonstrate for you. That's it.
I'm ready.
Okay, whenever you're ready. That's it.
Cool. All right.
That's great.
Now, lightly a hold.
That's
Why?
right. So you don't want to be too tense with the sticks. The best way the sticks can sound on the drum is is loose, so they can resonate. Okay, so we want the sticks to resonate as well, and then you don't want to create tension in your own hand because that can cause injury. So what we do is we keep the palm down really loose, and then we play from the wrist, a smaller muscle group than maybe like the arm or the shoulder. Okay, so we use our wrist to bend up and down. You want to try it one more time?
So how did this music hop come into your life?
Yeah, this is a good story too. I was sitting at a restaurant in Kalamazoo with my friend, Kyle, and I said, Kyle, I gotta go to Nashville. Like, I just gotta move to Nashville if I'm gonna be serious about being a performing musician. I mean, that's just what all my friends have done, or they've gone to New York City, or some of these big cities that have built-in infrastructures to provide an outlet to perform and get your name out there. And he said, no, you don't have to move. And I said, well, why not? He said, why don't you just create your own, environment here in Kalamazoo? And I was like, well, how are we gonna do that? And we already knew about other events downtown that were promoting like visual art. Art hop was happening. What if we did like a music hop, I was like, oh, what would that look like? And we started talking about, okay, well, Kalamazoo is the middle ground between Chicago and Detroit, and then you go north and you have Grand Rapids, and all these cities are getting great musicians to come in and play. So why not get Kalamazoo to be that middle hub between all those 3 zones? And then we can become, we already have the history, we have the musicians, we have a great music school down the road with a phenomenal jazz program, which is, nationwide they're well known. It's like, man, why aren't we a music hub yet? We gotta be, So we're trying. I guess music hub was like, it was a selfish, like I want to play more, I just want to have more opportunities to play. And it was also I love Kalamazoo, I want to stay here, so why not create your own environment to do what you love already? And then it was just practically like, why hasn't Kalamazoo been on the map yet? And then we used to be a little bit more. We had the Gibson Guitar Factory, and Club Soda used to host a lot of different bands that would play here, and But it seems like as more recently, it's not that it's gone downhill, it just hasn't gone forward, I felt like. So hopefully this will be some sort of catalyst to like promote local musicians and get bigger musicians that want to come to Kalamazoo.
Oh, perfection.
And you're already bouncing the stick really well, which is step 2 of the process, is learning how to let the stick bounce up and down.
Great.
So you're already a pro.
And give me a little drum roll.
Sure.
Okay.
So that's called a double stroke roll. 2 notes on each hand.
And when does that come in my lesson?
Well, that's later on. Yeah, we better wait.
Okay.
We got to work on 8 on a hand a little bit longer.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, it's all about the snare. Thank you, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Maybe I'm thinking of a rock drummer, but what do you think about when you're jamming?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Depends on the situation, I guess. So a lot of what I did was in the classical world, and so.
Which means what? I mean, so how does that differ?
Imagine, okay, so you have like the Rolling Stones. That'd be more like a rock genre, right? Or a pop genre. So, and then you have Beethoven, and that'd be more in like the classical genre of music. So in that setting, it would be a lot of like performance anxiety. That's what musicians talk about a lot. And so overcoming that is like a big part of like the classical musician's goal, is to be just like a really calm performer, really confident, and can play your music. But I never really got there. I was always really anxious. I had great recitals, it was fun. But I think it was more, just a little more intense. When I'm playing in like a rock band, I'm having fun. I think it's more like me just being relaxed. It's just, I think it goes with the territory a little bit. Rock music kind of has that surrounding feel of just like, hey, we're all just together, we're playing music, we're just jamming together, you know?
And does practice make perfect?
It absolutely does. You know, the 10,000 hour rule. Yeah, it takes 10,000 hours to master something. So I always think, okay, where am I in the 10,000 hours right now, you know? I think when I really got serious about my practice, which was in college, and I had a schedule where I'd practice 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon, just amazing results. It's incredible when you do that, you know? And helps to be passionate about the thing you're practicing. You know, not always enjoying practicing the things that I would do, but really pushing myself to do those things and then finding the things I was passionate about to work through those. Oh yeah, makes perfect, or it makes better.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Kalamazoo Lively Arts. Next week, we discover Digigami, Wellspring's dance company, and experience the musical Oklahoma. We leave you tonight with Dean Madonia performing at Tibbs Brewing Company for Music Hop. I'm John Koch. Have a great night.
4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. When time is running backwards and the earth spins in reverse, will history repeat itself? Will everything seem worse? Will we still be wondering about the chicken and the egg? Will I get a milk bone when my dog sits up and begs? Will we take the paper and make it back into trees? Make big ones out of little ones, grow sweaty in the breeze. Will I spit out gumballs and put them in my bag? What of all that water, beer, and coffee that I drank? Stephen Hawking tells us that it's more than just a hunch. Back when greasy causes were sucked into the big crunch. Stephen Hawking tells us that it's more than just a hunch. Back when greasy causes were sucked into the big crunch. Will we see dead friends and relatives grow stronger every day? Still work all those hours when we've already been paid? Will we put back all the ozone? We take down every fence? Will revolution number 9 make any more sense? Will Jack Ruby bring back Oswald to bring back JFK? Will it finally be last time Margaritaville will play? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, we'll stay the same. But now predestination will always take the blame. Stephen Hawking tells us that it's more than just a hunch. Back when greasy causes were sucked into the big crunch. crunch. Stephen Hawking tells us that it's more than just a hunch. In fact, the racy causes we're sucked into the big crunch. It's the big crunch. Stephen says the big crunch. Stephen says the big crunch. Stephen says the big crunch. It sucks. The big crunch. Thank you.
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.